we are in a very different industry than we were, whether or not our purposes are still the same. We have different students looking for different things from multiple providers. We have a demographic change, and I just saw some data from EDUCAUSE that says that even for students coming to our places, getting a credential is no longer their priority. It's about the third or fourth most important thing that they rank in terms of their lives. So we're dealing with customers who swirl among our institutions, swirl among the use of technology or flipped classrooms or traditional classrooms, and we have boards that operationalize their work around old models of silo oversight. And so I'm very sensitive to presidents who say, I don't want my board to micromanage. And yet we have committees that are structured in a way that they do nothing other than micromanage, because their committees and their work and even their culture facilitates looking over the structure that the president has in place. To operationalize the kind of changes and the new business that we are really in with new expectations, we have got to rethink. Not only, we all seem to agree that boards need to step up, but we have to operationalize how they're going to step up. Do they need new committees? Do they need more unscripted time within the committees and within the board so they can have reflective and strategic conversation, not necessarily steered by vice presidents who come in with a script that they should hear?
They absolutely do need precisely that. That's precisely what boards need now. That wasn't true.
You mean of that, yeah.
Absolutely.
The unscripted time?
Yes. Unscripted time, and also we need to, the things we measure will be what is accomplished, right? We need new sophisticated tools to measure the things that need to be accomplished. For example, the governor, the public, they want better completion rates. I'll just one example of what they want today that was not really in our thinking as trustees 10 years ago. We were thinking access. Today, we're thinking completion. Why? Because without completion, students can't pay back the loans that they took out to attend our institutions. They don't get the jobs that they want to get. They don't get the jobs we need them to get. They're highly skilled people. We need them to fill the jobs that require that kind of skill in order for the economy to grow, et cetera, et cetera. We fill that public purpose. That's a need we have to address. And yet the tools that we have are old school. We need the development of new tools so that we can hold the administration accountable for the right things. But yes, go ahead.
Let me ask you just a minute.
Sure.
Those tools, those new tools, do you think that it depends on each institution to come up with it? Does it come from the state?
Well, hopefully it doesn't come from the state, because if it comes from the state, then we're bound to measure the wrong things. It has to. No, I mean, seriously. But it has to be, they have to be developed collaboratively between the board and the administration, and the faculty have to be intimately involved in this in a way they've never had to be involved in this way either. This, by the way, is a model that they have regularly resisted. They call it a corporate model. I call it a model of accountability, and it's one that we're going to have to pursue because the public, the people who are funding this institution are demanding it, and as well they should.
John Morgan.
I was just going to add to the dialogue around this one point that I think is important. I think it's a responsibility of board chairs as well as university presidents to narrow the priorities.
Right.
To have fewer committees and work with committee chairs to have, again, fewer priorities. Have 2 or 3 key things that each committee is focused in, focused on. And if you have less committees, you'll be able to get more accomplished on behalf of the students and the alumni and the faculty. I think too often people just sort of chase down every rabbit hole. They have all these special committees and subcommittees, and everybody's going everywhere, and it becomes much more difficult to really accomplish anything and move your agenda down the field.